I have my top 5 caravan mods that I'm going to show you today for towing your vehicle around either the country, a half lap, hell even just away for the weekend. So I'm going to lay my 5 things that I wouldn't leave home without. I'm going to show you what they are, and if you stick around to the end, I've even got a couple of bonus tips for you when you're out on the road if you have some dramas. Guys, sit back, relax, crack that beverage. Sit back, relax, crack that beverage, and let's get into it. Righty, number 1. The first thing that I would not leave home without when I'm towing, going away on a trip, whether it be the weekend or a half lap or a full lap of the country, I would not leave home without my tyre pressure monitoring system. I run an iCheck TPMS 8 sensor kit. This kit was about 325 bucks, but well worth its weight to allow you to actually monitor tyres in real time. So you'll see here that you can see the PSI pressure as well as the internal temp in degrees Celsius. You can obviously change that between bar and PSI as well as degrees Celsius and Fahrenheit, so you can alter the adjustment there. So you've got the 4, let's try and get some reflection. You've got the 4 here for the car. So you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4. You have the 5th, which is the spare tyre on the car. You then have 6 and 7, which is your towing vehicle, whether it be a caravan, boat, trailer, camper, any of that, as well as number 8, which is your RV spare. All right, so good bit of kit. I had this go off a couple of times on our big trip that we did, and thank God for me, the only beeping that it did for when a sensor was down was when my spare tyre in the morning, the difference in cold and like when it's hot and fully expanded and cold, it dropped the PSI below the benchmark and it set the alarm off. But good to have and good to know that it actually does work when your tyre pressure gets low, which could either be a slow leak or even temperature. It has gauges in there as well. Guys, head to iCheck, get yourself a decent tyre pressure monitoring system. At number 2, the second thing that I wouldn't leave home without if I was going towing with my caravan or camper or whatever is this bad boy here. So this is a ScanGauge 3, and I would 100% install this in my car so I can get the trans temp and coolant temp in particular. The reason I want one of those is to measure in real time how your car is tracking. I like the capability of being able to see, okay, my trans coolant is a bit hot at the moment. It's the middle of the day. I might just wind back to 80 k's an hour instead of 100. That kind of stuff. You can actually gauge how far you can push your car or your vehicle while it's towing. And you can also see if all of a sudden you get caught on a hill, your temps start creeping, you can actually plan before it gets too hot to make those corrective actions, pull over, let it cool down, and not cook your engine or your trans whilst towing. Guys, for 400 bucks, to me, that is cheap insurance. All right, number 3. The next thing that I would upgrade almost immediately if I was towing would be these. Guys, get yourself a decent quality set of aftermarket towing mirrors. These are OCAM's TM3s. They're about 600 bucks retail. There's literally only 3 bolts that mount this to an Isuzu and the Ranger. So I've done a fitting for both an Isuzu MUX 2014 and the Ranger PX 215, okay? The Ranger was a hell of a lot harder than the Isuzu. The Ranger used the torque security bolts, whereas the Isuzu just used a nice 10mm spanner, or a socket rather. So the Isuzu was definitely a hell of a lot easier to replace than this, and I had that job done in 20 minutes on this Isuzu. Heaps easy, guys. Really makes the world of difference when you're towing, especially if you can get ones that have the expandables there as well, so you can push that out and pull that in as you need to for your towing needs. You got a top and a bottom glass. OCAM offer the replacement glass as well, so you can buy that for pretty cheap. I know from first-hand experience, I had to replace the bottom glass here when we smashed that in South Australia on our trip. Definitely a good bit of kit, guys. Get yourself a decent quality set of aftermarket mirrors. I knew mine were going to cop some abuse, so I just went with OCAM's at about 600 bucks. They have been absolutely fantastic. All right, number 4. The 4th thing that I would not leave home without with if I was doing any sort of caravan towing is a radio. You need to get yourself a UHF radio, guys. This is a TX6160 from GME. This is between 200 and 300 bucks, depending on if you pick it up on a sale or anything like that. You do not need a hardwired CB or UHF radio in your car. You can get away with a high quality handheld radio. So this is a 5-watt GME TX6160, around the $200 to $300 mark. There's no other costs involved in this because you just have to charge it and put it in your car, right? It's handheld, it's not fixed to the vehicle. You can take it out, you can give it to your spotter if you've got one in your car already, which is what I do. So you don't need to go through the process of getting one hardwired into your car. You can get away with a handheld, but you'd be silly to leave home if you're towing without a handheld radio, guys. Channel 40 is your friend. Don't leave home without one. Please use your radio out on the road. And that's number 4. Alrighty, before we get into number 5, guys, hang around to the end. There is 2 bonus tips coming. You have to stick to the end of this video to see what they are. Now, number 5 is something you might have to get when you're ordering your van or when you're looking for a van. It may already come with this. I would strongly encourage to put a DO35 hitch down as a must when you're towing, right? So the DO35 is this bad boy here, and you can see from the hitch, it allows the full articulation of your van to your car. And honestly, guys, I didn't think that a hitch would make a huge amount of difference. Trust me when I say it does. The ability to be able to hook up nice and easy. The pin just drops into the round hole there for the DO35. It's got the safety latch mechanism. The articulation, I never thought that I would use the articulation as much as I did with this camper behind me. Guys, we absolutely smashed that in our trip at the end of the year. I would not have been able to go where we went with this if I did not have a DO35 hitch on the camper. Do yourself a favor, they're about $500 at the time of ordering your van or camper. Do yourself a favor, put the DO35 hitch on that order form when you're getting your van made. Save you a world of hurt. Easy to hook up, high articulation and all the angles and stuff like that. If you don't think you need it, guys, don't go a tow ball, don't go a polyblock, get the DO35 hitch. Okay, winding into the juicy stuff. I told you I had 2 bonus tips for you guys. I wasn't lying, here they are. So, number 1 that I found with the DO35 hitch, to make sure that it is nice and secure to your vehicle and that it's not going to jump off your car, there's a nice little thing that you can do here to check this, all right? I'm going to show you what that is right now. So, when you're connecting up to your car, you can see at the moment this is unlocked, so this will move up and down, and it can jump off the car if you decide to go like this without pressing the button to lock that in. Please don't do this, all right? The way you know this is if you go and put your cap on the top, you will see you cannot get that cap on to actually sit flush, right? So you won't get the cap on flush. It will not sit and it'll be loose. And you should know before you take off that that is not secure. Now, to fix that, obviously you press your button to lock in your pin, and then your cap now will sit flush on your DO35 hitch, and you'll hear it click, which I was talking when it did that, but it is now nice and tight on the hitch. That is sealed and locked. You're ready to go. All right. Make sure the cap fits over the DO35 hitch before you leave, then you know you're good to go. That's hot tip number 1. Last bonus tip number 2. So this is your trailer plug. This one is a 12-pin trailer plug because it's obviously got the Caravan and stuff with it. One thing we noticed when we were going around and unplugging and plugging this thing back in is top 7 pins are your standard trailer plug. The bottom 5 are for the Caravan and all the auxiliaries that come with that. Now what you'll notice here is that the pins here, they have a line in the middle, so you can actually split the pin to kind of broaden that plug, so to speak. What we noticed when we were pulling this plug in and out on our camper trailer is that the end pins, which I think one of these is an indicator, we actually lost an indicator on the camper when we were leaving campsite every morning. I couldn't work out what it was to start with until I actually looked at the plug. One of the end pins had actually closed. You'll actually see that the line in the middle there, you can throw a flathead screwdriver in there, you can actually split the pin a bit more, so it gives a better contact to your trailer plug on your car. So then from that point, you plug into your trailer plug, it has a broader contact, therefore you've got your light back. So that's hot tip number 2, is keep a small flat bladed screwdriver handy in the event that when you're checking your plugs before you leave for the day, that you have all your lights, left, right, hazards, brakes, parks, all that stuff is functional. Because guys, you don't want to be driving around without your plug working or without your trailer lights working. It is super dangerous. you don't want to be that guy. Keep a flat blade screwdriver handy and just check your pins. If you've got an issue with your left rights as you're going and doing your final lap before you leave, get your nice and handy flat blade screwdriver out, have a look at the plug, and if the pins are closed, shove the flat bladed screwdriver in the pin and just pinch it open a little bit. It doesn't need to be much. You don't need to force your way through it. You just need to split the pin enough so as it's got a good contact on your trailer plug on your car, and then double check it and you should be good. That is hot tip number 2 for this episode. Okay, so with all that being said, I know that those 5 or 6 things that I showed you, they probably total around the $2,000 mark, and I can hear you saying, Shane, I don't have that kind of money. Look, I'm not saying buy everything on that list. They're my top 5 or 6 things that I would do and I have done to my towing vehicle to safely take a caravan, camper, anything like that out and about. Now, you can take them one at a time on that list. Start with the cheapest on the list. Do the hammer locks first. Get yourself into hooking and unhooking really quickly and simply. All right, if you don't have a DO35 on your caravan, don't worry about it. Leave that for later. Get yourself a decent quality set of towing mirrors. Get yourself a tyre pressure monitoring kit so you can monitor what's going on. Get yourself a ScanGauge so you can see how your car is behaving when it comes to towing your vehicle behind you. You know, if your car is pumping some hot temps, you don't push it so hard. You could cause further damage. Just prioritize the list of 5 or 6 that I've given you today. Work out what it is you want or need in your setup and tackle them one by one. You will get there eventually, and I guarantee you those 5 and 6 things that I've given you today will change the way you experience towing in general, and it will make you a hell of a lot more comfortable on the road knowing exactly what's going on with your setup. If you found any value in this video today, please smash that subscribe button below. Show your support for the channel, show your support for me. I love doing this stuff. I love getting this gear for you guys so as you can see exactly what you need for your setup. But I need you to show your support for me. If you're not subscribed to this channel already and you've watched 1 or more videos of mine, I need you to hit that button for me. Show your support. Guys, it means the world for me and it costs you nothing. Please hit the button below. Alrighty, with that being said, it's just gone lunchtime here. I think it's time to crack the first beverage of the day. So until the next video, guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. Get the kit on here and I'll see you in the next video.